Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to start a new series that I want to call More Thoughts. So basically what I want to do with More Thoughts is expand upon my written reviews on Blistered Thumbs and kind of answer comments that you left in the comment section of the review, or just expand on things that I said that maybe I didn't address fully or I didn't explain very well. So what I've done is I've written 5 of the most pressing topics that are either in the comments or things that I felt I wanted to address. And today we are going to take a look at by far my most controversial review so far, and that is on Square Enix's The Third Birthday. So right away I want to address something about our score, the way we score games. Blistered Thumbs goes on a 5 is average score. And then we also give a recommendation, either try it out, buy it now, avoid it, legendary, what have you. And so for Blistered Thumbs, on the third birthday, I gave it a 5 out of 10 and an avoid it. So some people might think like, oh, you destroyed the game in the review, so why did you only give it a 5 out of 10 when it's average? Quite honestly, like, the game isn't that fun to play, but every now and again it does something fun to switch it up a little bit. So the overdive is cool. I like the overdrive mechanic. That's fun. You also get vehicles from now and again. You get a helicopter, you get a tank. I think you get a helicopter on more than one occasion, actually. So it does mix it up a little bit. But one thing I did like, I thought the graphics were gorgeous. Like, this is probably one of the best looking PSP games I've ever seen. So that is what contributed to it being a 5. And something else that people were talking about was the game trailer score was also a 5, and they were saying, well, theirs is more of a 7 is average, so they obviously like destroyed the game. And I even said in the comments, oh, I agree with game trailer's score like almost exactly. The only thing that I didn't agree was they said the character models were bad. I didn't think the character models were bad. I challenge you to think of a game that looks better on the PSP. Maybe Crisis Core, and that game's really old for in the lifespan of the PSP. But I thought the gameplay was super repetitive. The music, it was okay, but it was just super repetitive gameplay. Anyway, if you want to read my thoughts, I'm not going to just sit here and regurgitate my thoughts, because you can read my review on that. Let's see. Okay, and the user poll. Another thing was the user poll. In Blistered Thumbs, we have this little thing in the corner of the review where it'll say what people thought of the game. And this is by far the most, differing review score that I've ever seen as far as what the users thought. I think it was 41% thought it was good, 35% thought it was bad, and then I don't know, I can't do the math that quickly. Whatever the 15, 17 some odd percent, whatever was left, thought it was meh, average. So it was definitely kind of a polarizing game. People have very differing opinions on it. And I think that's great, because one of the great things about gaming is, some games aren't for everybody. Everybody's got differing opinions, so there's always going to be a different game for different kinds of people. And, this isn't for everybody. But I think fans that have never played the Parasite Eve game before might find it enjoyable, because they don't know what to be disappointed about. In fact, I think there was somebody in the comments that even said, I've never played the other 2 games, so I don't know why people are so disappointed. I enjoyed it, but he or she, don't know, is planning on playing the other 2 Parasite Eve games, and maybe they'll enjoy it. Who knows? Extras. In the review, at the very end, I mentioned that there are no extras. What I mean by there are no extras is there's no extra game modes. Like, if you beat the game, there is no like extra time attack mode or like score attack mode. Like, when you beat God of War, you get some kind of score attack mode. In Dissidia, there's a new game story mode that unlocks. In this, you beat it, that's it, there's nothing. The only extras that there are extra costumes, and there are extra guns, and like, really that's just expected, especially with a game like this. Like, that's just something that I would think they would have. It's not like, ooh, look at all these extras, there's all these costumes, and there's all these guns. Like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like anything special to me. And I think somebody called me out on that in the comments. and he maybe he is right, depending on what you think of when you think of extras. When I think of extras, I mean like extra game modes, extra things that prolong the life of the game, like extra hours. And personally, I'm not going to play this game over and over and over and over just to get the different game modes. Like, it's repetitive enough as it is. I'm not going to spend an extra 10 hours just to get a Santa costume or whatever. And then the other thing that got addressed was the fan service. People said that the other two games had a lot of fan service where she would dress in skimpy clothing or whatever. I would very, very much disagree. I've played through 1 and I've played a significant amount of time in 2, and I don't know what that person was talking about. I did not see any kind of fan service in the other games in comparison to the caliber that this game had fan service. Like, there's a game mechanic very integral to the game where her clothes like slowly deteriorate over time, and it costs you money to repair the clothes. So it's like, wow, why am I going to spend money when I could have a girl half naked in the game and I could save some money? It's, I don't know, I didn't think it was necessary. It doesn't add anything to the game. It's just a way to get some cheap sales. And then of course there's the shower scene, which you can find on YouTube. I'm not going to post it or put a clip of it. But that's just another thing. It's like, oh, I gotta find out how to get that secret shower scene mode. It's like, okay, just how about you make a good game and not stupid, cheap fan service crap like that? I don't know. And then another thing people were saying, like, oh, this is your worst game you've ever reviewed and it's only a 5 out of 10. Well, like I said, I like to tend to look on the bright side of games. A game would have to be a complete train wreck for me to give it a 4, 3, 2, or 1. And so far, I have not come across a game like that. Like, this game isn't a complete train wreck. It functions properly, it looks good, and there's some fun to be had. It's not completely trash. It's not, I think some of the other people that have been scoring it like game trailers, where a 5 on their scale would probably be a 3 or a 4 on our scale. That may be a little too low. They were probably a little too harsh on it. But it's still, most of the games I've reviewed have been just new games that came out this year, because that's how long I've been at Blistered Thumbs, and most of them have been pretty good. You've got Prinny, you've got the new Dissidia, Tactics Ogre. I mean, this has been a really good year for the PSP so far. So still, I would still say this is by far the worst game I've played for review. Nights in the Nightmare is close, but I think it's just one of those things where if you can get past the complexity of the game, there's some fun to be had, but this is just repetitive, and I don't know, it's a polarizing game and I'm on the bad end of it. I just didn't like it. I will also say that I do a lot of reviews on like maybe platformer games or RPGs, because right now that's pretty much what the PSP's got going for it. It's got RPGs, it's got like platformer games, and maybe you might think, oh, you don't like shooter games, this is just not your kind of game. Well, that's not necessarily true either, because I've played through Uncharted, in other shooter games, and I like shooter games when they're done right, and this just wasn't done right. Like, the biggest problem I had, I'm going to just drive this home, is it's super, super repetitive. Like, you go in a room, kill guys. Go to another room, kill guys. Go to another room, kill guys. It doesn't mix it up at all. There's absolutely no puzzles. The environments are very closed in. They're just rooms or hallways. And when you play a game, it can be pretty and it can have good music and it maybe can have a good story, but if it's not fun to play, then what else is there to it? I might as well be watching a movie. And so if this is going to be an interactive medium, you've got to have fun with it, and this is just too repetitive. I felt like with the third birthday, they're like, okay, let's take Aya Brea, let's put her in a generic shooter, give some fan service, and slap the Parasite Eve, even though it doesn't have the Parasite Eve on it. People know it's a Parasite Eve game. Slap the Parasite Eve name on it, and people will buy it. And you know what? That's what's happening, but I don't know. A lot of people are enjoying it, but that's just my opinion. I did not like it. You don't have to agree with me. That's just my thought. Take it for what you will. So have you played the game yet? Definitely share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know what you thought of the game, if you've played it, or what you thought of my review. If there's something else that I still haven't addressed that you want answered, then please, again, leave a comment and I will do my best to help you out. I'm only going to be able to do this as often as I do a written review. And for now, my next game that I'm planning on doing a review for is Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. I want to say in the neighborhood of 15, 16 hours. But this is one of those kind of games where you have a lot of side quests that you can do, because you're basically like this sort of mercenary for hire for like justice causes. It's not like anybody that will pay you off any kind of thing. So this can get a lot of extra gameplay time. So I'm not doing a lot of the side quests. I'm just trying to get through the game as fast as I can so I can give you a good opinion. So this will come, I want to say early next week is when I'm going to post a written review for it. And then I don't have the game yet, but it came out today, and that's Patapon 3. So this is next, and then very soon after is Patapon 3. And as far as I know, there aren't a lot of games coming out for a long time. The next couple games that I'm anticipating, Final Fantasy Type O, who knows if we're going to get that this year or within the next year. The Persona 2 Innocent Sin, that comes out on Thursday in Japan, so I'm anticipating a release date announcement very soon for that game. Valkyria Chronicles 3, that game's been out forever in Japan, and we still don't even have a release date for here yet, so I'm looking forward to Valkyria Chronicles 3. I would assume a lot of that will come at E3, which I am crossing my fingers that I'll be able to go with blistered thumbs. We only have 6 spots, and so I'm hoping to get one of the spots. But yeah, thanks for checking it out, guys. I also have a lot of other cool stuff planned, but my problem right now is I don't have anything to capture game footage with, and it's at my friend's, and it's really cumbersome to go over to my friend's, use my portable hard drive, bring it back. I just want to have my own, and so once I save up enough to go buy one of these, I'm going to be pumping out like gameplay stuff, a lot of maybe initial impressions of a game, or I actually want to do something with like Madden. So if you like Madden, let me know. I'm going to try to do like sort of a Let's Play with Madden, as I'm playing the game and I'm like sort of the announcer. I've been playing with that idea for a little while. So anyways, thanks a lot for checking this out. Let me know what you thought of the format, if there's another way I can improve it for next time. So anyway, guys, we will see you next time.